We are gonna shoot a breeze. Da, 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 da. Feels like something happens every week. Who cares? News, news, news. Who cares? News.
You can't see me, but I'm doing the robot.
Robot.
Doing the robot. Ooh, I'm doing that arm thing.
Let's do the robot dance.
You know that thing that's in every robot where they have that arm swing, like a machine does? It's got like a pendulum.
Sure.
I'm doing that. And it looks so good, but you're never going to see it.
A robot.
Yeah. Nobody asked.
Robot. Oh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nobody Asked.
Yeah, love it here. It's my favorite. I missed you so much.
Today we are joined by our magnificent host. It's Maria.
It's me.
She's in a racing chair.
At all times.
Always, she is connected to that chair. She has no legs. And Colin.
Hi, Colin.
That's me. Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So we were going to talk about news, and then I got held up by plans, and I couldn't do research. And so it's going to be a little bit of a shoot from the hip type of episode. Hell yeah.
We have a very rigid thing that we do here. We have got no room for just off-the-cuff nonsense or shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
Rigid.
This isn't some free-form podcast like The Daily or NPR's Consider This. Pull those two out of my ass. This is regimented. This is like Good Morning America, but for the real American voter.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Hey man, today's episode is sponsored by just a little beer. Oh, grab a little beer.
Wait,
a little beer.
Did you say grow a little beard?
No, grab a little beer.
Oh, grab a little beer, like a tiny beer, like a miniature beer.
Yeah, like a small beer, like a little 3-ouncer.
Oh, do they come in that size?
Nope.
Ashley would like us to talk about how they're saying that those aliens are real again.
Bro.
Come on.
I ain't even listening to that now. Nah.
It's a llama head and various other body parts that were inserted in random directions that are not right.
Who even is saying that? A bunch of nonsense.
The scientists in Mexico, they're doing DNA testing. They've ran it through 23andMe. I don't know why I'm doing that now.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Hunter Biden's laptop, right? Where it's like, hey, if this is going to be real, why is Rudy Giuliani introducing it? Like, if you want us to take anything you give us seriously, don't give the aliens to the alien hoax guy. Because I'm not listening. Come on.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying Hunter Biden didn't have a laptop. We know that he did.
No, he did. But when it came out, everyone thought it was a hoax because it was Rudy Giuliani's friggin' sweaty black eyeliner ass being like, look at his laptop. Well, we only have this week to look at it. There's no time to fact check any of this. But this is Hunter Biden's. Yeah, it felt sketchy, okay?
It's still sketchy. It's still sketchy.
It's still sketchy. It is real though. Hello to Ashley. Hello to Wendy. Hello to Susie. Hello to Mel B. Hello to all of our
Wendy. Hi, Wendy.
Ravenous fans. I'm beating off the paparazzi every time I leave my apartment. It's very awkward. I've had to fill out a lot of police reports, but it is fantastic. And because we're shooting from the hip today, maybe we'll interact with our dedicated fans.
Indeed. Perhaps we will. So,
perhaps, but we're not very good at it.
We are terrible.
We're so bad.
We're bad. What are you going to do? So, Colin, why were you out of the apartment today? What the heck was going on?
Dude, what a setup, Mom. Very nice. It was great. Look, I got a little texteroo, a little textery diddly bob from my uncle, William. And he said, oh, are you in New York City this weekend? And I was like, yes, that is where I live. Something that I don't know if I've ever mentioned on this podcast. But I live in New York City. And he said, "Oh, well, would you like to help me propose to my girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." So they were in Central Park, and she, she is a woman that enjoys, the castles and the princessy type vibes. She likes dressing up. Cool lady. And so there's this castle in the middle of Central Park, and we were going to go scope it out. Ellie, me, and then two of their friends scoped out a spot for the proposal. We got there first, and the plan was that their two friends had gotten lunch, and they were going to meet up at Central Park before going to the Met. And so they're going to meet up in the park at this pretty location, take some pictures by this castle, and then go to the Met. Meanwhile, there's Ellie, sunglasses on, full spy mode, sitting near them. And, Uncle William's girlfriend does not recognize Ellie because she's never met Ellie.
That's true.
And Ellie has no social media presence, so there's no way to know what she looks like. And so she's there like a spy. And as they're taking photos, Ellie would come up and say like, "Oh, hey, would you take a photo of me?" It would ask Lara. And she's super nice. So of course she'll say yes. And then as the photo of Ellie is being taken, Lara's looking at the castle. And then when she turns around, there's Uncle William on one knee with the ring and everything. And then I pop out of the bushes filming. Did they ask me to be in the bushes? No, they just asked that I was far away. But I opted for the bushes. So this was all great. Good plan. One problem is that those two, William and Lara, were about an hour and a half late for their own proposal because they went ahead and got on the New York City subway system, and they just took it the wrong direction, and they waited until they were over a bridge to realize that they were going the wrong way. So good on those two. Navigating the New York City subway system is very difficult because there are two directions that it goes. So they were very late. We got to hang out with their friends for an hour and a half. Good people. Good people. We had good conversations. We talked about the housing market. We talked about this, that, and the other thing. It was actually...
You were running the podcast while you were in the middle of Central Park with strangers?
With strangers, yes. We didn't talk about the housing market for a long time. It was all good vibes, but it was quite a wait for them. But the actual proposal went off without a hitch. There was, as Lara was taking a photo of Ellie, they had their song playing on a speaker kind of fade in. And then, she turned around, there's William right there. I'm filming. They put a tiara on her and put a little like princess cape. And then the castle is right in the background. So it is pretty awesome. I think I have a photo that I can share. Let's see. If there's a photo.
What was their song?
I do not know what that song is because
okay.
I'm not old, but I don't know. It seemed like it was fun. So there. Oh yeah, this is going to be perfect. So there, she's taking a photo. I promise you, I'm looking at the screen right now. It is not that washed out.
Okay.
And then you can see Uncle William's on his knee right there. And then she's going to turn around. And, there's the notice. And then comes closer. And then I think at some point she gets on her knees. Yep. And they're having a good little cry. And it's very sweet. And then you can't really see it, but there's a castle in the background there. I'm looking at it on the actual screen, and it is not. It's not washed out.
No. I can still get the idea of what was going on.
Yep, it was pretty awesome. And people in the park clapped and whatnot. Somebody went, "Fuck yeah!" So
New York, right?
It was really good. It was romantic, and it was great to be a part of. And then I took them then I took them to a famous hot dog stand outside the Met, the Hot Dog King, what everyone wants for the post proposal. And then we got them some tickets to the Met because we can get people in for free because I live in New York. So it was great. It was a good time, but it did take up way more of my day than I was hoping. This whole week has been just awful for me getting any work done of any kind. It's been carbon monoxide alarms.
Oh yeah.
And like it's the third week of the diet. It's like the end of the third week of the diet. And so I am just tired and grumpy. And some third thing. So yeah, we had a carbon monoxide alarm go off. The fire marshal had to come. And it was like, there wasn't really an explanation for why it went off, but they just replaced the fire alarm. But it didn't feel like it was a faulty alarm because it went off. And then when we aired out the room, it stopped going off. And then when we closed everything up, it went off again, implying that something about the air was tripping it. But they replaced the alarm. They had a gas detector like go through, and there was no like signs of a leak on the gas detector. We've had this one for a couple of days, and so far none of us have died. But it did freak out Moby a lot, the whole process. And he woke up in the middle of the night to throw up all of his food that was undigested. So
poor puppy. Poor puppy.
We had to sleep with the dog to make him feel better. But yeah, carbon monoxide has no smell. But Ashley Nicole here says that school's closed because of a suspicious gas smell today. I found this out. You know the rotten eggs smell of natural gas? They put that in there.
They do.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Natural gas smells like nothing. They put the rotten egg smell in, which is interesting. So I wonder if it smelled like rotten eggs at the kids' school.
Perhaps.
What's going on in your life?
What's going on in my life? So, we got that bunkhouse. This week me and Vic have been framing the walls of that. And, it's going just fine. I will say, it gets hot, by noon. And so I'm usually, today we stopped way earlier, but, usually we'll stop around 1:30 because we just can't do it anymore. It's just too hot in there. And so we get, electricity so that there's air conditioning. So there's that. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that. I still haven't finished the desk that I've started, but I'm close. I just got to find time to finish it.
Yep.
I'm at the tedious part where you have to sand stuff, and sanding takes forever. So that's annoying. So I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of, I'm getting my steps in without going for a walk every day. I can get my 10,000 steps on the front porch, going from the bunkhouse to the saw while carrying lumber, cutting it, bringing it back and forth. I get my 10,000 steps just doing that.
Impressive.
Yeah.
There, can you just put an extension cord in and put a window AC in the dwelling?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could. I don't have a window AC, but yeah, I could. Oh, so Ashley wants me to tell about my tiny tomatoes. So Ashley was she showed me pictures of her tomatoes, like a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and her garden was doing great. So she showed me these beautiful tomatoes. Meanwhile, my tomatoes are very, very sad. And so I sent her a picture. I think it was today. It might have been yesterday of my tomatoes. And let me pull them up just because they are absolutely. So these were Roma tomatoes, just so you can see how great my Roma tomatoes are doing.
Those are terrible.
Yeah, they're not even the size of cherry tomatoes. But
are they? Is this in the ground garden or are they in pots?
They're in a raised flower bed, so a raised like a box type.
Cool.
Yeah, that I made. I built that box.
Well, if you get enough of those small tomatoes, do you know what we could make with them?
What could we make?
Give me 20 seconds.
I know what it is because Colin sent me pictures as he was doing this during the week. And honestly, it just speaks to what I think is important to sort of millennials and Gen Z that you guys are just bringing it all old school, and I love it. So, what could you make with a bunch of them?
Salsa. I have many of these jars, and I did the actual like hot canning thing, where the tops pop in. So here's Semide Picante. Hey,
Why is it called Semi de Picante?
because it's a good name, and it's also your mom's maiden name, right?
It is. It's just curiosity.
So if I ever make a brand of salsa, I feel like I'll call it Semide Picante because it just sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. A little homage. Maybe I'll make Grandma the logo. Have her sign a release.
Her going, oh, wow, she's wearing a big wide brimmed hat.
Yes. Salsa from Grandma with a big wide brimmed hat. I bet that salsa is not very spicy.
I mean, it would make no sense to make salsa. She's Puerto Rican. It's not really.
Yes, I know.
Not a salsa person. But she is into pique like hot sauce. So you make a hot sauce like a little, like Texas Pete or Red Hot, right? But you make your own pique, then you'd be good to go.
Well, this is from tomatoes, not tomato sauce. This is the whole process. I did the whole thing, straight vegetables. My own vinegar. I bought that at the store, but other than that, so I don't know. I was very excited. It was quite a process. Our room smelled like hot sauce, like salsa, but like really spicy salsa because I used what's the pepper I used? I used Serranos. It smelled spicy in here, so we got a blueberry candle, and we got a bunch of very pretty flowers. So now the room smells less
like salsa. You know what? We got handed a giant bag of shrimp the other day, like fully. So if you go down to the beach here, because there's an actual fishing pier, you go down to the beach and you go past that. That's where all of the shrimp boats are parked. So if you go for like a morning walk at like 7 a.m., they're selling shrimp right there on the pier. But we didn't do that. Steven just handed us a giant bag full of shrimp, and it still had the heads on and everything. And I was unprepared. I've never had to like clean a shrimp before, so I had to go watch a quick video on that. It's a weird process. You just basically grab them by their antennas, which are very just like long strands. So you just kind of grab a fistful of them and you just pop all their heads off. Just poop, 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 poop. They come right off. But I was disturbed.
Their legs?
No, their heads. I had to take their heads off. So I'm holding them by their hair-like antenna and just pulling them off.
Pulling their bodies off? They're dead.
Yeah, pulling their bodies off. Because I couldn't. That was the thing, is I'm like, these just look too alive. I mean, they were not moving at all, right? But they just seemed too alive to me. I'm like, how do I know? I just gotta do it. I just gotta do it.
This is the kind of stuff I want for Ellie when she's in Mississippi. Is I would like some crawfish.
Want some crawfish? I don't think we're in crawfish season, but
what? Oh yeah. Well, what is the difference between crawfish, prawns, and shrimp?
I mean, crawfish are smaller.
They're smaller?
They're definitely different. Oh yeah, crawfish are smaller, but they also, I mean, they're just different. They're all crustacean. They're all like just little bugs, like little water bugs, right?
Yeah.
But like a shrimp has a really like sharp, pointy part. I know because I stabbed myself on it trying to pull their heads off. So they're just different varieties of similar things, I guess. I don't know what the difference between a prawn and a shrimp is. They are awfully similar, more similar than crawfish.
Yeah.
But yeah, crawfish are very seasonal. I think a lot of crawfish are actually the same crawfish. Like they have cloned themselves, and I don't know. They fertilize their own eggs. I don't know, but basically, it's just the same crawfish over and over again genetically.
That's interesting.
But yeah, usually crawfish season is more in the spring, and you can see when you even walk through our neighborhood, you can see crawfish holes. They make these little like those drip castles that you make on the beach where you sort of grab. It looks like that, but it'll be just out in the yard, a bunch of drip castles out in the yard. They're little crawfish holes all over the yard. But when they go catch crawfish, they actually go out in the water so they can get a bunch at a time. But they're all over the place.
Yes.
It's too much work to go dig them out of the yard. I did that this weekend. I pulled heads off a shrimp.
Has any headway been made on the turtle watching boat?
No, there's other priorities right now. And really, it's been so dry here that I haven't seen any turtles for a while. And then I was on a walk with Marlene like a week ago, and a turtle just crossed our paths and she picked it up. And did you know that turtles hiss? It's the cutest thing you've ever heard. She picked him up and she was like, ah! As she is, right? Let me excitedly hold a turtle in your face, Maria. And the turtle's all... So we put the turtle down. It's like, okay, we respect your boundaries. Let's put you down. It was cute. But no, I haven't tried to purchase or do a lot of research on a turtle boat, even though I very much would love to go on a turtle boat.
Do we know anything about the boat?
I mean, Steven has a little boat, but I feel like we need a slightly bigger boat than that, just because your dad doesn't,
Yeah, what kind of boat does Steven have?
I don't. Do you think I know my boats?
Like a rowboat, or
No, it's got a motor, but it's little. It's like a one-person boat.
Can you take a one-person boat?
I mean, you could probably put two people in there, but not comfortably. Your dad likes a little bit more lavish, turtle boat.
Yeah. Dad and I are in the same world there. I've got so many points right now. I've been absolutely cleaning up the credit card scam points thing.
Yes.
It's a blast. I enjoy it a lot.
We do that too. I bought chicken nuggets today on points, on McDonald's points.
Oh yeah. Do you guys have a travel? I guess you guys don't travel enough because where you can really clean up points wise is with the different travel credit cards.
Oh, yeah. I don't travel that much these days. I mean, yeah, no.
No
I mean,
flights.
I do travel, but not like
you guys need a gas card. That's where your money probably goes.
We have an electric car now. No, that's only really good in town. After that, you're using gas.
Well, yeah. I mean, at some point it'll be electric car, but most of the gas cards now will pay for electric pumps under the same category. But,
all right. Should we talk about?
Well,
huh? Should we talk about news at all, or do we not care about the news?
Yeah. What were you going to talk about?
Okay. Well, here's just briefly a question. We've just sort of been saying news roundup because I can't think of a better name, but what does it have? It's not really a roundup because we just sort of just randomly talk about the stories that we want to of what's going on. You know what I mean? We're not really giving you everything that's going on. In fact, we actively avoid some stories.
That's what the news does.
So it's fair. It's fair to call it that.
A news institution. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, I like to actively avoid stuff about Trump while also very much following what's going on. It's just I don't want to talk about it.
Something going on with him lately? I have not been paying attention.
I mean, there's just a couple things, or possibly 90 things. It depends on how you look at it.
Being a little stinker again. Come on, Trump. Stop being a little stinker. I think we should treat him like a kid. I think that would really annoy him. Trump, we're going to put you in timeout in prison.
You're a naughty boy. You can't say those things.
Put down the nuclear football.
Well, okay. So if we want to talk about people that are being a little bit naughty, what about Miss Lauren Boebert?
Lauren Boebert, the representative of half of Ellie's family. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, I'll talk about Lauren Boebert fondling a Democrat. What's the worst part of that?
Unbelievable.
And vaping like a child.
Like a child. We've got to protect the children who were watching Beetlejuice right alongside her. A pregnant woman behind her who apparently wanted to keep her child, but Lauren Boebert didn't care. She's like, cotton candy vapes are delicious.
Okay, you know what this makes me think? We've been watching Vanderpump Rules, and I know that mentioning reality TV is a trigger in this community. But listen, we've been watching Vanderpump Rules, and how you watch these people and the way they behave is inexplicable until you realize that they're all on cocaine and Xanax and Adderall, and like they're on huge uppers and huge downers, and you're like, oh, you are high as a kite right now. That explains everything. And that's sort of what Lauren Boebert fondling someone and vaping at Beetlejuice makes. I think that she was on ecstasy. This is my sleuthing here, is like,
She did
that,
seem to be having really too much fun for the situation.
yeah, yeah. And I think she's fully crazy, but I think that she was on MDMA, man. I think she was on something. I think she was that.
I mean,
Also, people that vape are brazen as hell sometimes, and you're like, this is smoking. I mean, it's not as bad as smoking, but
yes.
also give me a break with the like secretly doing it indoors and being all coy, and you're like, stop.
It's not a secret. We can all smell that yummy, yummy cotton candy smell. We all
Yeah.
smell it.
Very like loud smell, right? It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't smell like weed, but it like when someone's vaping around you. I remember in theater class, sophomore year of high school, the first time I saw a vape was in the that theater trailer that they had at Fremont,
Mhm.
and that class, the like theater one, was clearly everyone took it as a blow off class. So it was just all of the kids that would end up being like opioid addicts. They were all in that class, and they were all on the couch, and they were, touching each other and being gross and vaping. And then they'd hand you this freaking floppy disk and be like, oh, you want to hit it, bro? And you're like, no. Also,
Wait.
Everyone knows you're smoking here.
Like, why was it a floppy disk?
Like just the big square, like.
Oh, the big ones. Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were no Joules when I was a sophomore.
So a big power block or a USB.
Like a muffler, yeah. It was crazy. Now the USBs are the Joules, but yeah, and they'd be like, no, I'm ghosting it so you can't see, and it's like, it does not matter that you can't see. The room smells like your vape. So,
yeah.
And the teachers just do nothing. Like, this is very interesting.
Yeah.
Daycare death.
So for me, what was interesting about the Lauren Boebert thing, I mean, other than that dude was really, what are you doing?
This news story that just popped up on my watch.
Oh, wait, what popped up on your watch?
Bronx daycare death. Days after a 1-year-old died at a daycare, investigators uncovered a trap door that was hiding fentanyl under a play area.
Yeah. Okay. So I did hear about this. So this was like, a single mom takes her kids to this daycare center because she's got to go to work, right? And this was like his first time at this daycare center. There's other kids there, and everything seems reasonably normal, right? And then some hours later, I guess there's a camera out there. Not only was there a camera out there, DEA are out on the street monitoring this house, okay? Watching children go in as a daycare. Anyway, sometime later, we see the boyfriend come back, right? He doesn't have anything in his hand. He comes back. He goes inside for a certain amount of time. Then he leaves out the back door carrying several like plastic bags that are full of stuff, right? So, and then sometime after that, an ambulance and the police are called. So there were several children that got fentanyl exposure. One of them ends up dying. Possibly could have been saved if he had been called right away instead of let's call the boyfriend and get him to get all his fentanyl out of the house. But this wasn't just a little bit of fentanyl that was there. There's an indication that it was being manufactured or like there was a serious operation going on there in this place that was also a daycare center. And yes, under the mats, there was something going on under the mat. The trapdoor part was new for me, but yeah, I had heard all of this, and it is just insane. Insane.
That is such a nightmare scenario that all these, it's just like when we think about like a dog daycare, it's like, how do you know what's going on where you leave your kids or where you leave? It's just like, well, they seem fine. I was watching a fentanyl documentary earlier today while I was eating my breakfast. about the Vancouver fentanyl crisis. And yeah, it is interesting. So much of the struggle with tracking down large scale trafficking of fentanyl is how little fentanyl is large scale trafficking, because a dose is like 3 grains of sand. So I'm sorry, a dose that could kill you is like 3 grains of sand. So you can, I mean, I'm familiar with this process, is like you can go on the dark web onto these different drug purchasing sites, and you can buy from China like a $400 amount of fentanyl.
What?
$400 of like the pure fentanyl, and then get it sent to your door, like USPS, get it sent to your door. And then all of these fentanyl manufacturers are just splitting it with like baby laxatives and sugars and whatnot in order to make it like a more approachable dose. And it'll be like 15% fentanyl is what they sell on the streets. But that large scale manufacture of fentanyl is not like meth large scale manufacture where it's a laboratory. It's like you could make thousands and thousands of doses in your soup pot at home. And so, and then it's just up to the person that made that whether or not it was really, homogeneously created and it's really 15% across the entire batch. But it's just some fucking guy that is making up this recipe. It's all different colors, like
at his girlfriend's daycare center, where children put literally anything in their mouths, right? So,
yep, that's wild. That was how one of the frat brothers at my fraternity got weed, was on the dark web, and it would just get sent to you by USPS. Like,
by USPS, you're right. So the USPS does not check your stuff unless there's a reason for us to check your stuff. So they do have the technology to do it, but right, because you've got the postal, what do you call it? There's an actual sort of police force associated with the post office. What's it called? Postal inspectors.
Yeah, one of America's oldest police forces. Yeah.
Yes, the postal inspector. But they are not just, they don't have their dog out there sniffing every single package as it goes by. None of that stuff is happening. There's got to be a reason to pull your package.
Yeah, just and the package, it did seem like the priority was like vacuum sealing it in order to prevent there from being an odor. But
right,
yeah, buying drugs on the dark web, alarmingly simple. And that, I'm sorry, I kind of buried the lead here. They were buying $400 of pure fentanyl on the internet and getting it sent to them. And when they split it into doses, this $400 was being turned into like $120K of sellable product. So the overhead is wild, but it's just like backroom manufacturers. People, like 2 people with no experience can get Tor and figure out how to do this in days. So
right. And potentially kill all manner of people for a quick buck. Yeah.
And what they were saying in the documentary is that, so like the different manufacturers would have different colors of their product. And what they were saying in the documentary was when people started dying from a certain color of product, then the addicts would be like, do you have that one? Because they would think like, oh, I'll just take, a fifth of it and then my money will go further. Because if people are dying from it, that means it's a higher dose. So then people will like only look for the one that's killing people. Uh-oh.
Addiction's terrible, man.
Yeah.
I have such a hard, so down the street, there's clearly a meth house. And we drive by it regularly. In fact, we drove by it in the evening and I didn't realize they don't even have power over there. So they're there with a little lantern, all manner of people in this house that are coming to visit, to come hang out all times of the day. People regularly just sitting in their vehicles with the car doors open. And it's like 100 degrees outside. So I can only imagine how hot it is in your car, but you're just sitting in there all day long, just being weird, just doing weird stuff.
Yep.
And I have such mixed feelings because I don't think
Is this the tire fire location?
No, it's further. It's down the other side of the street, but it's on Old CC, but like down further.
Oh, is it a scary dog?
No, it's the other direction.
Oh.
Over past the stop sign. That way.
Yep.
So we go by this house all the time. I mean, and it's weird. There's like a motorcycle parked on the porch. I mean, nothing about the house makes sense. The other day, it was jacked. Their shed was jacked up like 2 feet off of the ground, but the contents were still on the ground. You know what I mean? Like just the shed itself was jacked up 2 feet off the ground. And you're like, what are you guys doing over here? But anyway, they've got no power and just people there all the time, just doing weird stuff. And part of me is like, nobody goes into life or into adulthood or into anything saying, you know what, I want to be a meth head when I grow up. You don't go into life that way. Something very often has brought you there, you know, whether it be you had an injury and you started off on legitimate pain medications and then you couldn't get them anymore or whatever. There was a progression of things that led you there. Often it feels like that's the case. There's some sort of injury, something has happened. And so there's a part of me.
Like loneliness and lack of community, mental health issues, and
For sure. With meth?
And the other one, specifically for meth, a lot of people will find themselves, if they already have a cocaine problem, then you can occasionally accidentally buy meth when you're trying to buy cocaine.
Oh.
And it's like, I mean, it's like a completely different experience, but then you're just
now you're there.
Yeah, not because it's one of those like first time addicted, not unlike cocaine, is one of those first time addicted things.
So there's a part of me that wants to have some compassion, right? Like, you know, something's gone real wrong in your life, that this is where your current situation is. You don't even have power in your house. It is squalid there very often. Sometimes it's randomly cleaned up and then it's weirdly squalid in a whole new way the next day. You know what I mean? Like there's always something going on over there. And it's like, what do you do about it? It's like, can I just call the police and be like, you know, that's a meth house? When you're like, of course they know it's a meth house. Right? How would you? But people have to live somewhere. I don't know. I just don't know how to even think about or approach things like that. What's the right way to even think about it? What's the correct level of compassion and the correct level of, you know, I really wish you weren't in my neighborhood doing this. I don't know. Because it always brings crime, because I think it's hard to hold down a normal job when you have, you know, addiction problems. So then you're going to start stealing. And then you're not a good neighbor at all. If you start wandering into my yard and taking stuff.
That happened?
Before the house was built. Yeah, while it was being built. Yeah. They stole the lentils, which is a weird word.
The lentils?
So apparently when you're building a brick house, right, and you're putting brick over the top of like windows and doorways and stuff, well, not so much windows, but doorways and over the garage, there's a big piece of metal that goes across the whole thing to hold that top layer of brick up, since you're going over a big wide opening. And yeah, they stole those. It's like $400 worth of metal that they stole. That's the guy that he went to jail for it because we had cameras.
In the trailer park?
He was living in the same trailer park we were in. Yeah, the same RV park that we were in. He was the next trailer over. Weirdly, happened to come to our house that was being built.
Yeah. Okay, but he also lives in this meth house?
He doesn't live there, but we've seen him over there. He visits. He's a visitor.
So he's out of jail then?
He's out of jail.
Okay, well. Good. Yeah. I want to get in contact with the city, like administration, the city manager for Ocean Springs.
Oh.
Yeah, because you're in the Ocean Springs jurisdiction, right?
I'm in the unincorporated part, but yes.
But yeah, I mean, similar to like Wool Market with Biloxi. So I want to get in contact with the city manager because I just get all these grants when I'm doing research for other organizations, and I'm like, Ocean Springs could apply for this, but I know that they don't have the capacity to apply for grants. It's like, just pay me, please. Just pay me. And
I'm going to tell you, the mayor of Ocean Springs is very big on revitalizing Ocean Springs. He's trying to annex this area so that there'll be a bigger tax base to do all the stuff he wants to do. It's a little bit annoying, but he does have big plans. I think they just released a new what the city plan was yesterday. I just haven't had a chance to go look at it. So I think if you can get in contact with the mayor.
Do you know anyone that knows the mayor?
I bet Marlene does.
Yeah, Arlene's boss, who I know, knows the mayor.
Yeah.
So I could ask for an introduction through that. If I can get a meeting when we're when Ellie and I are in Mississippi, then I can make all of my travel tax deductible.
It's a business expense.
Yeah. If I'm doing business there, it's like, hell yeah, that's a business expense. Come on. So
all right, do it. Do what you gotta do.
When I do comedy, whenever I get a big purchase, I'll put it in my backpack. I'll bring it to comedy, and then one of my jokes will be like, "This is for a tax write-off," and that's part of my business. So
sweet. Pretty
boom,
cool.
Tax deductible PS5. Let's go. Got a laugh. Tell me it didn't get a laugh, IRS.
Tax deductible PS5. I'm sure there are some jobs where you can rationalize that. I don't know
Like
if yours
comedian, when you get a laugh, I did it for the jokes. Come on, IRS.
Should we talk about more news?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to go a little bit with Lauren Boebert, but not in the way you think, just in the way that I want to talk about it. Because I didn't really finish talking about Lauren Boebert, but it doesn't matter. We'll come back to her. Okay. The senator from Alabama, Tommy Tuberville, he's been holding up appointments, like nominations and appointments for the military since March, because the Department of Defense's policy on abortion for its service members is that it will pay for the travel expenses to go get an abortion if you need to. And so how dare you use taxpayer dollars to help military members get abortions? So Tommy Tuberville is all up in this and has been, since March, holding up nominations. So normally when they do nominations, they'll do a whole bunch of them at once. They'll lump them all together. Everybody just says, we don't need to talk about this, right? We don't need to have a big discussion. We can just say, yes, we can just have a vote, right? And they'll skip, what's it called? Closure? I can't remember the word. But anyway, they'll skip all the let's discuss it part. So Tommy Tuberville has been like, no, we're not going to skip that part. We're going to have the discussion about we're not going to lump them together. If you want to pass these nominations, you're going to do it the hard way. You're going to have to bring each individual one before the floor, and we will discuss each one individually before we take a vote on it. And so nothing has happened since March until yesterday, when Schumer, who is the person that decides when things are brought before the floor, decided, okay, let's bring some nominations before the floor and we'll have the discussion. He just brought 3. There's like almost 300 of them that are being held up since March. And these 3 were pretty important. One of them was the Joint Chief of Staff position. So some really big positions where there have been acting, people acting in those roles right now, but they aren't officially in those roles. So they can't really implement any new changes that they want to do. They're just sort of filling a hole. So 3 of them went through yesterday. But it's really weird that he hasn't attempted to do this all along. He said it's going to take months to get through all of these if we have to do them one at a time. But instead of just since March, let's just do a couple here and there. He's decided not to do any. Schumer has decided not to do any until yesterday. Now, why I think that this is important and an issue is it's shenanigans, as all things are, right? Right now, we do not have a budget approval. We don't even have a provisional temporary budget approval. We've got, in the House of Representatives, they're making every kind of insane demand to the budget you could imagine. All kinds of crazy stuff is going on over there, and in the Senate as well. But all kinds of stuff where they're like, oh, I'm only going to sign it. We're talking like the Freedom Caucus of the Republican Party wants, giant slashes to Medicare, to Medicaid, to just, anything that helps regular people. They want it slashed. And then also, let's give a boost to some rich people. Let's give them a quick little tax break over here. Like just the most absurd things you could possibly imagine. They want to get rid of the Justice Department, the Department of Education. I mean, just like everything. They've just thrown everything at this. So we've got no budget. And, I think they're running out of time on that. So when all you should be discussing is the budget right now, let's go ahead. And we have done nothing since March on trying to get these nominations through. Let's do that right now. let's waste, it's not a waste of time. I don't want to call it a waste of time, but let me use this time in a very particular way so that there's not time to discuss a budget and come up with a provisional budget. There's a lot of people that think that the Republican Party wants us to not have a budget approved. They want this to fall apart so that they can have somebody to blame, right? We can continue this division. We can continue to have the government fall apart. There's another part of me that feels like Democrats are up to similar shenanigans and don't want it to go through as a way to blame Republicans for making ridiculous requests so that this can never go through, and to have locked up the works by not letting these nominations happen in the traditional way. It all feels very suspicious to me. The timing on things is very suspicious. Okay? And how this ties in for Lauren Boebert with me, okay? Because I know that you think I know you think that she's just a complete ding dong. And I'm not saying she's not a complete ding dong, but I watched the way that she responded after the fact. And, the tone of voice that she had as she was saying, "Oh, I'll have to be more careful in the future by checking party affiliation before I go on my next date." She had just a good responses, in my opinion. I mean, they're shit responses, but they're good responses. She had the right social media demeanor, right? When you see people get really emotional and make a fool of themselves and just look like complete, they just get all worked up, pointing fingers this way and that. She did none of that stuff. And I was like, this is all gameplay. Everything is gameplay. All of it. I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it too. I hate that it's been proven time and time again that apologizing is just the worst thing that anyone can do. Anyone. In the public sphere, it's like there's so many things that they kind of teach and focus on in school, the golden rule, like that. There's like sort of basic codes of conduct. It seems, and one of them is how to apologize. It seems like people have forgotten how to take an apology, and it feels like apologies make people more mad or signal to people that now is the time to pounce. Now is the time to strike. Oh, this person is admitting they've done wrong. Well, then I'm completely right in going even harder against them. And if anyone says like, whoa, it's an understandable situation, and be like, they said what they did was wrong, and people just go further and further. And so the playbook for Boebert, of course, is to not even acknowledge some of the absolutely insane things that were in that controversy, right? And to only acknowledge the stuff that lets her get off a little political zinger, This is in all of politics. It's like Trump sort of was lack of apology manifest, right? And now it's like it's suicide for any politician to admit to anything or to say that they even once made a bad decision, even when like the accusation that somebody's a flip-flopper because they've flipped once. You're not a flip-flopper. You're a flipper. You're and excuse me, it's good to be a flipper. Okay,
it is good to be a flipper. Yeah, you're like
right from the very beginning, and it's also good to be wrong, take in new information, and then adjust your opinion. But of course, that's not how it works on the on the public sphere. So yeah, I think that we need to learn how to take apologies from people and to understand, and that I think that celebrities are probably the first people that people think of, but I even see it in conversation among individuals now. It's like there's this mode of conflict where at the very start, I'm right. No, I'm right. Right? And then someone will say, and they might both be wrong, right? And someone will say, hey, I'm sorry for that I called you a bitch, right? That's a good thing to be sorry about.
Yeah.
In almost all situations, I'm sorry. And what does the other person say? Yeah, well, the thing about what you said is that it really made me feel like this, and you haven't really acknowledged my story, and it's just like the apology doesn't really mean anything right now. And it's like,
yeah.
Okay. See, your true colors are coming out now because you can't accept an apology, right? You guys were both wrong. The right way to react to this is, you know what? I'm also sorry for the crazy shit that I said, and maybe we can come to an agreement now. But this isn't how anyone communicates. So
it isn't, and it's funny because I listen to a lot of like on TikTok, a lot of like computer voices reading "Am I the assholes?" to me, like a lot of them, and the number of people that should I demand an apology before I go to the wedding, or I'm cutting this person out of my life until they
yeah,
until they apologize to me, and it's like, dude, what is demanding an apology? I don't
oh
understand demands for apologies at all. Somebody gives you one out of the goodness of their heart, or they don't. You don't demand them from them. They don't mean anything when you demand them from them.
yeah.
What
When
are
people say
they?
I think I deserve an apology, it's like, okay, well, you've ruined any possibility of an apology now, because you will always think from now on that it's because you demanded it, right? It's the same thing as asking for a thank you. It's like, I was gonna give me a second. Now I'm not gonna say thank you because it's because you asked for it. And there's certain people in my life where they've made a hubbub about just like, well, I'm just really big on thank yous. And every time that I say thank you, I feel dirty. And it's like, I am thankful right now. I am thankful. And yet, while saying thank you, I feel like I'm doing it in a self-serving way. This is crazy. I feel like I deserve an apology. Ay. You might, but you should, like, that you need to argue. Also, people are terrible at arguing in emotional circumstances too. And it's like, you don't even
Sure.
understand the cruxes.
Right. Yeah. You're like, my hackles got up, so now I can't hear anything you're saying that might have been true or meaningful. We can't have this discussion right now. So I'm too mad. But like later on, and that's the other thing is people are like, I refuse to talk to this person until we have an apology. It's like, how are you even going to get an apology if you refuse to talk to this person? Did you want them to send you like a care package with a beautiful thank you note in it? Like, what were you expecting to or thank you, apology, whatever it is, it doesn't make any sense. Sometimes you just need to have the hard conversation. Just
Yeah,
have the hard conversation and realize that you might never get a thank you. You might never get an I'm sorry. You may never have a meeting of the minds, but at least you understand where they come from and you make your decisions from there. But don't demand apologies. It's weird. It's weird.
it's interesting. Uh, Ellie and I have arguments sometimes, and it is actually interesting how rarely they end with apologies. They usually just end with us both understanding where the other person was coming from. Like, we'll be like, oh, when you said that, I interpreted it this way, which is why I got more amped up on it. And they're like, okay, but I meant it like this. And you're like, that makes sense. And that's sort of how it ends. Is you're like, hey, okay, yeah, I misinterpreted that,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
basically, and I'm sorry, but yeah, it's just it is so toxic to discourse to have to take an apology when it is offered, or somebody changing their opinion when convinced, and then take that as an opportunity to attack them more. It's toxic to progress and to language and to all of this, and it's infuriating when you see it. And it's the best people that are apologizing, and then they're being lampooned, and you're like, oh, good.
Sure.
This will
Yeah.
only help.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I just want to say, like, if you do watch any of the things, like any like little actual video clips of Lauren Boebert after it, to me, I'm not saying she was given a master class, right? Because who wants to say that about Lauren Boebert for anything, positive? But I'm telling you, she was unbothered. She said exactly the right thing for who she is and or the image she's trying to put out there. And I was thrown. I was legitimately thrown that she didn't sound like a buffoon. Yeah, what she said was, we saw what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I'm going to regurgitate something that I heard from somebody that I just respect immensely, which is just like, that's the thing about assholes, right? Is that they are absolutely impossible to force to feel shame. And that That
Oh.
is what is so like seductive about assholes. It's what's seductive about Trump and about Bobart and about these different assholes is that they refuse to feel shame because they just don't. And it's like they give you permission to not feel guilt and to not feel shame because it's just like, well, fuck you, right? It's this narcissistic outlook where anyone that is actually doing good is only doing good in the interest of themselves, right? They're only doing good because they actually have this ulterior motive. And I'm just being honest about it. I'm just being honest about my self-interestedness, and I'm not going to be ashamed about like just doing what the fuck I want. You're an asshole, but it's like you can never get shame over them. You can never be like, you can never shame on
Yeah,
you.
but they're also the first ones to shame other people, though, right? So that's what's interesting.
Yeah, they weaponize shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because other people can feel it. It's a weapon they're completely invincible against. Is shame.
Dude, this is very interesting. All right, that was a fun direction that went in.
You want to do a round of GeoGuessr?
Let's do a round of GeoGuessr. Yeah.
Fun. Share screen, GeoGuessr. Bop. Oh, we should choose a new outfit for me.
Okay, let's go to the avatar shop. We're not paying for this, right? Do we have free clothes?
I'm sure that we have some free clothes. I have
Some
no
points.
points. Wait, how do I do this?
It feels like you're in the right place. Avatar shop. Why does everything pay?
Edit avatar. There it is.
Ah.
Okay. I can have an afro. This.
You got a
This.
hat on. I can't see your hair.
Oh, sorry. How do I take the hat off? Extras. No hat. Oh, those are sunglasses. Hats. No hat.
Okay. You look like a pretty little girl right now.
I do.
Maybe we should throw some facial hair on you.
Let's see. I have no facial hair unlocked,
Oh.
but I can have these pretty eyes
Oh, you're so pretty.
or normal eyes, more pretty eyes. Those are the
Okay.
ones that I had. The only extra that I had were the sunglasses.
Okay. Have we arrived at this hair, or did we want more choices?
More choices. I had this.
Oh, it's so cute.
I had this. I had this. This. Wait, where? I had a different hairstyle at the beginning of this. Where did that go?
It's gone. You've lost your other hairstyle.
That's hilarious.
That was
Okay.
a limited edition hair, and it expired.
Lame. Well, then I'm getting a fro. And it will be. Oh, those are the three. Wow, these avatars suck. Upper body. Oh yeah, and I've lost my like. If I take off this reindeer outfit, I won't get it back.
Dude. Well, I feel like you got to keep it then.
Yeah, I agree, but I can put on a skirt.
Oh, beautiful. Make it gold. Make it a gold skirt.
Gold skirt.
Yeah. Oh, see, now you look like a proper school teacher.
Yeah, I do. Until I put on the sunglasses. Let's go. All right. There's me. Terrible.
That's the worst. Somehow worse than where we started.
No, much worse. Okay. Time to do the daily challenge. Oh,
yes,
yeah.
let's do it. Ashley wants to know why you didn't pick the emo hairstyle when it's the obvious choice.
Oh, well, I don't know. This looks
back in the day.
very Asian. Oh, yep. There we go. We've got,
Whatever that is.
Like the little liney, squiggly. So this could be like Qatar.
Perhaps it's the Emirate. What do you call it?
Marina, Dubai, the United
Dubai.
Arab Emirates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that flag.
Yeah, this is unfortunately, the flag doesn't come up. So I don't think, yeah, that's either, yeah, okay. Saudi Arabia is the green flag. So yeah, I think it is probably the UAE. And so I think it would probably be Abu Dhabi before it's Dubai.
Why?
Because I think that Abu Dhabi is a little bit less nice looking than Dubai. Like,
This
we would
nice.
see. Oh, is that one building? Let's see if we can get a view of that building. Okay, yeah, it does not look like the Burj Khalifa or
all
whatever.
those big buildings. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it's like I don't see
I've
the
not been
Dubai building, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to me that the UAE would have two big cities like this.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Abu Dhabi was this big. I mean, I don't know if this is Abu Dhabi. This could be Dubai. I don't know.
It could be. I feel like we're gonna see it say Dubai Marina. All right, fair enough. Dubai Marina.
Probably near the water somewhere. There's that weird tree thing.
Yeah.
Parachuting or whatever. Oh, there's two of them? Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm trying to find anything that says Marina.
Do we have to be that specific? I mean, or do you just feel like we have to? You're just inclined to.
You know, just because.
I mean, I do feel like, are we on a straight road? What are we on? Probably somewhere near this big straight highway. I don't know. Are we on a highway? Is that really a highway, like right through town? Where are we at?
I think it's this edge thing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, let's put us here. Oh yeah, it was by the thing. All right, 8.8 miles. Can't be mad at 8.8 miles. Oh.
Hi, Shayna. Oh. Okay.
Interesting.
Still could be that part of the world, but a different part. Bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
Now I'm confused.
Tunisia? Bienvenue is French, right?
I believe. Yeah, it's French.
Oh yeah, this could
Is
be
it French in Tunisia?
I think so. Yes, sauce, right? That feels French.
I don't know. Are we just going to go for it without looking around more?
We'll look around more. I'm just putting a flag down.
Okay.
It does feel like Tunisia though.
Your dad's been to Tunisia.
He has. Is he in the room?
No, he's not in the room. But he ended up trading. He had a Titleist hat on. You know, like the golf company.
Yeah.
He was just wearing a hat, and he was walking through the marketplace, and somebody's like, "Oh, I want that hat. How much for that hat?" And your dad's like, "No, you can't have my hat." And he offered him like a drum, and your dad's like, "No, that's not. I don't want that." And then he offered him a different drum, a bigger drum, and your dad said, "Yes." He just said zoink, and he grabbed that drum. So you know that black ceramic drum that we have.
Yeah.
That's how he got it. He traded his hat for it.
Oh, that must have been when we were like, or when I was like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah, you would have had to have been little. Yeah, because you probably we've had that drum for a long time.
Bogo. Oh, Senegal.
Oh, Senegal. So not Tunisia. Where's Senegal in relationship to Tunisia? Not close, I wouldn't think.
No, I don't think so. I think that. All right, I'm really. Oh, there it is. Senegal.
Bogo.
Dakar. Oh, wait, here. Bogo is to the left. Okay, I need to make this larger.
Yeah, so tiny.
Bogo Tuba Mosque. Bogo.
This is just us staring at a map, trying to find tiny words.
Bogo. Bogo. Where are you, Bogo?
Let's just leave it there. That seems fine. Or we could go even sandier.
Oh, there's Tuba. 51 miles, not bad. God, Africa is so big.
It is big.
Like the distance between our guess and that place is like the distance from where I live to Philadelphia. Like, damn. All right. Okay, there's a sign back there. It is arrows. This looks like America.
I mean, we've got yellow in the middle. That's all I know. Oh, there's the ocean. So we are probably near a shore. Oh, we got choices.
That's probably our food, Ellie.
Which way you want to go?
Sorry, we have somebody buzzing and they're about to piss me the fuck off.
Let's go that way. I don't know. Pick a direction.
I'm sorry. Jeez. Is that in English? Boop.
I don't see any words.
Reduced speed ahead.
It does seem like America, but near an ocean, a little bit mountainy, hilly. I don't know. We could be in Oregon for all I know.
We're looking north and there's an ocean to our west, implying we're on the west coast.
So California, Oregon, Washington.
The license plate looks like it is white.
American one. That doesn't tell me anything.
That looks like a Bermuda flag or something. Or Hawaii? No. What is that? Is Hawaii
you're asking
the Union Jack in the corner?
Hawaii?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. I don't know my flags.
This could be Hawaii.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see why you were asking me that. Or could it be Guam? I don't know.
It could definitely be Guam. It does? Okay. So which island do we feel like we're on?
This is one where we had like a convergence of, oh my gosh, my phone's going off. It's driving me crazy.
Well, let's go out into Hawaii first. And wrong continent. Okay. I mean, it does feel like Honolulu or the Big Island.
Yeah, I think the big one, because there was like 3 roads sort of converging.
Yeah.
But also, yeah, you could see the water. Yeah, I feel like right there in the middle there where there's 3 roads. Let's see.
Oh, baby, 4.9 miles.
That's very close.
Let's go. It does say to leave at the door.
What did you get? Food-wise, what'd you get?
You got tacos.
Oh, yeah.
Tacos are one of the best protein delivery vehicles that are also delicious. All right, we're at a pool, which is kind of fun.
It's kind of fun, kind of weird. Why are we at a pool?
There's a weirdness to it, for sure.
Oh.
Instructional diving.
Oh, okie doke. It's in English.
Water aerobics. Michelle. 10:15 a.m. That feels like America.
It does, but also this is strange.
This is super weird, bro. Super duper weird.
How do we get out of here?
I'm worried we can't, which is really going to ruin my perfect,
We're trapped at this pool. Oh, what's this?
Gmail, Star Diving BDA.
BDA.
I mean, this whole area feels quite strange.
Right. This is very nice. I mean, I want to say.
Got palm trees.
Okay. So
I want to say it's like the Dominican Republic or something, but it is in English. It's a fancy pool. I'm worried there's no way for me to get out.
We're just trapped at this pool. Okay, so there's a vehicle over there. Maybe we can look at the vehicle.
Well, we're on the.
We're on the bridge.
Okay, what does that look like? Oh, long license plates.
Oh.
What
was it? It's a Mazda 3.
Man, this place is weird.
How do we get out of here, though? Now that you've gone up the stairs, can we keep going?
Can I dive?
We have to, leap off the diving board.
I don't think that it's going to be possible for me to get out of here. This is what we got.
Okay.
I mean,
this place.
This is like Bermuda or...
Ooh, the American Virgin Islands. No, but like, why would you have a pool like that? That's like a competitive swimming pool. It just seems, I don't know. My first thought was like somewhere that they've had the Olympics, but I feel like there would be Olympic stuff everywhere if that was the case. So I don't know. It's just weird.
Are the Bahamas American?
You know, I don't know.
We're going to say the British Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Bermuda. I said Bermuda.
You did. You did. How do we get trapped in a pool, though?
I said Bermuda. Damn it. That's infuriating. We were having such a good round. All right. Bruno Gayeweg.
Okay, so Europe.
Europe.
Somewhere in Europe.
Tall buildings. We've got yellow plates, which feels like Britain, but the name doesn't sound like Britain. Netherlands.
There's a white plate.
Switzerland. Burros, Garagen, und von Wangen, Zulmaten. Dot. Oh, I can't tell. Can't tell.
I think it's German.
I never think it's Germany because Germany is like, oh, hey, maybe it is Germany. Yeah, Germany is like, they don't put it on GeoGuessr very often. Wasseraufbereitung.
Well, even more reason to think German.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It does feel like but Germany's so big.
It is big.
Like, what part of Germany would we be in? Private Parkplätze. Yeah, this is so German. Hag, Volksschule.
Parking. Okay. We seem to be at a school.
Kindergarten.
It's even more German. That's an actual German word.
Kindergarten.
We're not
Ausfahrt.
That means exit. We're definitely in Germany. There's 100% we're in Germany.
We're in Germany, but still, it's pretty funny.
Linz. That just said Linz. Is that a part of Germany? Linz? Linz?
Weingartermeichenbull.com. We're in America. Just kidding.
That sign said Linz. Linz. Hi, Critolin. Oh, hi, Venus. They come for us during GeoGuessr. I mean, really, we were just shooting the breeze today.
And this is our last one. I just don't know.
Netherlands. Oh, we're too far.
Oh, Bundesrathi. Damn it. I don't think we're going to find Bundesrathi that fast.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you see the name Germany straight up?
Yep.
You see it? Yeah. It's food or something.
It was Austria.
Austria?
In Linz.
Ooh. There's Linz. Okay.
I should have known Linz was Austrian. That was still a pretty good round.
Apparently they say Austria.
We were so close to breaking 20. Oh, man. If only I had chosen Bermuda. Oh, well. That was awesome.
It was awesome. And Critolin, I know you says you always miss these because you get up early and usually fall asleep at like 4 p.m. But I appreciate you stopping by, even though, I mean, to be fair, this was not like a regular episode. We were mostly just shooting the breeze and then threw GeoGuessr in at the end. But, you know, it's still nice to see you. It's nice to see everybody.
Yep. Thank you all for coming. It's good to see all the different names in chat.
Oh, look at, there's Venus. She knew it was Austria. Venus!
We gonna sing it out?
Yes, shall we sing it out? Thank you
Let
for keeping
us.
us company. And yes, let's pull up the old singity song hourglass. Thanks for keeping us company while we talk about random nonsense.
Nonsense.
Like Lauren Boebert's boobies getting squeezed in the middle of a theater watching Beetlejuice. What could be more fun?
Oh boy.
Sorry, my song lost it partway through. I don't know. It's fine. All right, bye.